What's up, guys? Eric here, and welcome to the Daily Feed, your daily dose of geek. And I have a question for you. Was Thor Love and Thunder your favorite Marvel movie ever? Your favorite MCU movie? 10 out of 10, 5 stars, perfect film, your hot take that you're willing to die on a hill for. Is that Thor Love and Thunder for you? Well, if it is, I have bad news for you. Chris Hemsworth, Thor himself, disagrees, and he's tired of arguing with 8-year-olds about it. All right, we're going to read this article. He's being very candid about his thoughts on this movie, on Thor Love and Thunder. Now that the movie has come out and people have had a chance to really respond to it, he's giving his thoughts on this. It says, Chris Hemsworth admits Thor 4 was too silly, calls Scorsese and Tarantino's movie criticism super depressing. I guess they're not a fan of me. We're going to talk about both of those here in this video. And if you have anything to say about this, definitely go down in the comments below and leave your thoughts and opinions. Subscribe and put a like on this video. Leave a like, give a thumbs up. Please, please, please. Marvel's Thor Love and Thunder was a box office hit with $760 million worldwide, but a lot of Marvel fans were turned off by writer-director Taika Waititi's silly humor and the film's unappealing visual effects. I remember that. A lot of people didn't like it. Thor actor himself, Chris Hemsworth, is aware of the negativity surrounding his fourth Thor movie, and he even admitted in a new GQ magazine profile that Love and Thunder was too silly for its own good. I think we just had too much fun. It just became too silly, Hemsworth said about the movie. It's always hard being the center of it and having any real perspective. I love the process. It's always a ride, but you just don't know how people are going to respond. Now, look, here's the thing. I enjoyed Thor 4, but I don't think it's the best Marvel movie. I don't even think it's like top 15, to be completely honest. It's not a great film, but it's fun. And if you go into it just looking for something to eat popcorn with and enjoy the ride, then I guess it's pretty good. But I made a video talking about this. I feel like Thor 4, Thor Love and Thunder, was like 2 or 3 movies kind of smushed into one, and it all felt just like it was too much. I still enjoyed the film, but I can agree with this criticism. He goes on to say, Hemsworth said his biggest critics were his son's friends. It's a bunch of 8-year-olds critiquing my film. We thought this one had too much humor. The action was cool, but the VFX weren't as good. He said, I cringe and laugh equally at it. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I don't think that Taika will be returning as a director for the next Thor movie if they want to do it with Chris. Because if Chris is going to come back, I don't think he's going to want to work with the same director again, because I believe that Ragnarok, that movie was very well constructed. It had the perfect blend of campy humor along with a lot of great action, a lot of great visual effects. And Thor Love and Thunder was a different beast altogether. I think the humor was way too campy for the movie, and the visual effects, like they say, weren't as good. There was a lot of times where I'm like, what is going on here? Why does it look this way? And Chris goes, he really wants to do some other stuff for a while, but he'll return if it's a creatively rich opportunity. I love the experience. I love the fact that I've been able to do something fairly different throughout the process. Thor 1 and 2 were their own thing. Thor 3 and 4 were a very different feel. And even Avengers, the Lebowski Thor, the Infinity War Thor, due to different directors, I think mostly my own need to do something different. And I agree. Thor felt very different depending on where he was at the time. And there's nothing really wrong with that unless you go too far in one direction, and I think that's what happened with Thor 4. But leave me your thoughts and opinions on this. I also want to point out that Thor Love and Thunder right now sits with a fairly good score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a 63% from critics after 434 reviews. I'm pretty sure they're done with that. This movie's been out for a while, and a 77% audience score. So it wasn't necessarily received poorly by everyone, but there were definitely dips in quality with the movie. And then lastly, let's talk about his comments about the other directors here. Hemsworth also addressed criticism of Marvel made by top filmmakers such as Martin Scorsese and Quentin Tarantino. Scorsese has hit out against Marvel for negatively impacting exhibition, while Tarantino said last November that Marvel is incapable of generating movie stars, which I wholeheartedly disagree with that statement, but I've had other people push back against it. Part of the Marvelization of Hollywood is you have these actors who become famous playing these characters. But they're not movie stars, right? Captain America is the star. Thor is the star. I mean, I'm not the first person to say that. I think it's been said a zillion times. Well, not a zillion, maybe 100 billion times. But it's like, these franchise characters become the star. I totally disagree with that. I see what he's saying, but I disagree with it. It sounds to me like there's a little bit of a chip on the shoulder because he doesn't really want to make those kinds of movies, and those movies typically do pretty well. So I think that's what's happening. And then Chris goes, that's super depressing when I hear that. There go two of my heroes I won't work with. I guess they're not a fan of me. So he's not happy about that as well. But we still love you, Chris. And I'm looking forward to seeing more stuff from Thor. All right, that's it. Leave me your thoughts and opinions on this in the comments below. Click over here to check out another recent video from my channel. I'm sure there's going to be something new over here in this general vicinity. And click over here for something that's been suggested to you based on your algorithmic clicks. That's how YouTube works. I'm sure you'll see something here that you want to watch. So do that, hit subscribe, become part of the Airrickverse, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.